Yo, what's up, Eagles fans? We are fourth and go here with an immediate reaction to an Eagles victory down at the Linc Week 16. We get to 8-7. That's Mark Tomasini. How you feeling, bud?
What up? What up? It's a winning Sunday. We usually don't say it because we haven't done this before. But yeah, I'm gonna pop the top on this one. Eagles playoffs hopes are alive. Been rocking and rolling. I see you pouring yours. Life's good, man. It's good on this side, I'll tell you.
It is good, man. Listen, I got a little nervous. Not nervous, but I didn't feel good early. And it looked like the Giants game from a few weeks ago. And I wanted to say some things. I wanted to write some stuff on Twitter. I wanted to say Minshew, but I said no. I got to wait, right? And the interception at halftime, right coming out of half by Rodney Mcleod, obviously, I think it changed a lot of things. The Eagles were playing with a negative field most of the first half. And Sirianni's game plan was booty, not running the ball early, trying to pass it. And they were dropping the ball. They weren't making good reads. It was a little chaotic. But from there on, after that interception on McLeod, pure domination. It's what they should have been doing. And I feel good about that win. I really do.
I mean, I feel good about the second half. I feel good about last week's second half. My gut is still killing me and telling me that these slow starts against these sub 500 teams are worrisome. And what you're seeing in the first half of games with Jalen Hurts especially is worrisome. Making mistakes. I mean, we got lucky that first interception was a drop. Yep. Technically, looking at it, but
it's a bad read. It's just a bad throw, bad everything.
And remember, there was also 2 fumbles in the first half. You look at the one where Jalen, luckily Goddard was there, I believe, to recover. Hey, it's sloppy with the ball. I don't know what it is. I mean, the Giants' defense is nothing to write home about, and that stuff is, the stuff. Look, you and I both know what this team is. They'll be lucky to make it into the playoffs this year, but you know what? It's a moral victory if they go and they make it in the playoffs, and I'm happy about it. And I'm going to root for them all the way. It doesn't matter. But if I were the GM or if I had my way, I would change things up. I mean, Hurts looked a lot better in the second half, and there's definitely some good things to see. But really, his players made some plays.
Yep.
Rager was decent. Right. Quez bailed him out.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, that one would seem to be overthrown. Quez got back, came to the play. I mean, he gets
great catch by Devontae, the end zone play.
That's 2 weeks in a row with elite foot placement.
Yeah, that was
elite.
Yeah. You're right. And the kid, he held on to the ball. That first time in the history of my watching football that I've seen a review get overturned to go back to a review and get overturned again.
Terry, even Pereira, or not? Was it Pereira?
Yeah, it was Mike Pereira.
I think he goes. It's a double reverse.
Yes, he did. But I mean, we got to. I'm still with you. I can get the jury out on Hurts all I want, but I want to. Just the immediate reaction was he did rebound in the second half.
Yeah,
his players made plays, and that's what we needed. Even late in the first half, the throw down the sideline to Devontae Smith was big. He had a nice little in between to Rager. There are some still quality plays out there that he was making, and I got to give him credit. He hung in, and then when the game got freer, and what I mean by that is they got the lead and they were playing a little more with their energy. He started to play a lot better, and he was throwing darts to Goddard. Obviously, lane train getting a touchdown was pretty fun too.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point that you make because I think Sirianni also. I mean, to me, Hurts has to execute, but Sirianni, he has a game plan in place that he plays to his players' strengths, but he's very tight-lipped at the beginning of the game. He's almost it's weird though. I'm trying to find a balance. He's almost too conservative, but then not conservative enough at times. Like he started off, I think, 6 passes, 1 run.
Yep.
And you have the best rushing team in the league. And even after Miles goes out, you're passing the ball early on, and the Giants are all over you. And the Giants got into Hurts' head real quick. They were sending a lot of nickel corner blitzes, and that's why he was making bad throws. He was releasing the ball too soon.
Yep.
Throwing it high, making bad decisions.
He was running free from the blind side. No, I'm with you. And it's funny you mentioned that 6 and 1. the one run they had was what, like for 12 or 13. Miles wasn't touched.
Right.
Yeah, it was a bad start.
I feel like Sirianni, he had a good game, but at the beginning it was rough.
Yeah.
They bounced back. I mean, it's he's got to take the good with the bad. Sometimes he looks good, sometimes he looks bad based on what's going on. But that's him having to figure out what to do. And it's also he is a little hamstrung with Hurts.
He is. I don't disagree
Because
with that.
I think his arm, it's look, I'm trying not to be Dark Cloud Mark because I'm not. It was a good win
No.
today. It
Let's
was
take our
fun.
beers.
It was exciting. Cheers.
Yeah.
Because, but it's if they expect to be a real contender, either Hurts has to get his arm to a more elite level or they have to figure out another option. I was telling because like even my friends, I was texting with my friends and I was just like, I was like, you know what? I know I'm negative, so I'm not going to say anything. Like I was, he threw a ball under, blah, blah, blah. It's one of my friends goes, he throws that ball a little tad farther. It's a touchdown. I said, I didn't want to be the one to say it.
Yeah.
And my one friend was like, Mark's been saying that the whole, like for like a year and a half now.
But he can't
that his arm doesn't do it, that he can't throw far. He can't.
I know.
It's frustrating because he's got the physical skills and he was able to make it in college that way at Oklahoma and Alabama. He used his athleticism more than his arm.
Look, I got young kids at home and I'm trying to watch a game with them and all I can say is stuff that's not good. So I'm like, I gotta like try and be positive. So I'm going to stick with the positive today. And I want to ask you on the other side of the ball real fast. The defense showed up pretty well today and it's been
all day.
It's been good, right? In the past few weeks. I think we got to give Gannon some credit. I know it's Jake from State Farm, but he just he stinks, but you still created pressure. You still made a difference back there. And you kept your offense in the game long enough that they finally took over. And I mean, you saw a stat, I think, during the game at one point, they're allowing only about 80 yards per game rushing. They have adjusted. They have played better.
Right.
And if they're going to do anything, I think defense is where it's going to happen. And another, Alex Singleton, your boy Heavy Metal, going in with the touchdown.
Of course. That's going to get them all riled up. But I mean, you think about it, you got a linebacker like TJ Edwards who's emerging.
Yeah.
Sean Bradley's playing decent. But if they really say they stick with the 3 picks that they have, even though I think they're using 2 first-round picks, they're moving one way or another. That would be my guess.
I agree.
Even after today's game, and even if they make the playoffs, I think Howie doesn't like to stay complacent when he has multiple picks. And regardless of any of his drafts, he's never had 3 in the first round. So, for that being said, if they can my prediction is they go 2 offensive, 1 defense if they were to stay with all 3, but I don't think that. They go 1-1. Right.
I think it's offense. I think it should be defense, but it's
right. But that's the way they lean. That's the way they draft.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With that being said, the stat that you're referring to, they went from 113 yards per game rushing the first, I think, 7 or 8 weeks to 79 now. That's what? That's like 30, 40 yards a game. That's a big difference. You changed the way that and regardless of the talent that you're playing, I mean, that's still over the past couple of games. You played Denver, who has a good rushing attack. There's a couple teams in there. Washington, Antonio Gibson, you shut him down after he started off early. So I agree. I mean, I think it's something to be said that, their defense has played a lot better.
It has. And then lastly, we'll talk special teams. I know we finally broke the jinx of the Jake Elliott, but, bad snap. And the hole got there as good as it could. And I do contribute some of that. But he hit it when it mattered. And then Jalen Reagor, for his drops he had.
Finally.
Big punt return. I think that really, set us up in the plus field goal range, got us up 10. Special teams, again, I think we're better than the Giants, even though we had that game fumble early. But to recover, Arcega-Whiteside actually did something, right?
Right.
So I'll give special teams. I'll give them a B today. I think they did enough and were good enough, but made a couple positive plays, which were good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That Reagor return was good, and it was good because he actually caught the ball, saw a hole, ran upfield, did what you're supposed to do. Because that first one where he went backwards, I can't, as much as I get annoyed, I can't blame that all on him. Because remember, the gunners, the guys who are blocking the gunners, they missed their assignment.
They did.
They missed their assignment. they literally converged on him. He had nowhere to go but backwards. But I think that's either at that point where you see that your guy's lost, you fair catch, or you just kind of catch it and hold. But you're trying to make a bigger play out of nothing.
And you
That's
think
when
you're
you got to
faster.
make
I know.
right. You got to make a business decision right there, and you got to say, "Am I going to lose yards here? Am I just going to deal with it?" And he did. He thought, I need something to get me going, so this is what it's going to be. So it's so frustrating. I mean,
Yeah.
the past couple of games he did have a big drop, but he's been catching more. He's actually been making a couple plays between the Washington game and today's game against the Giants. He's making some catches. He had a nice catch over the middle. He had another one where he caught
That
a
was the
screen
nice
pass.
in between. Yep.
Yeah,
Covered. Yep.
and that was a nice throw by Hurts. And don't get me wrong, I'll give Hurts his credit where it's deserved. Overall, it was a good game. And they have Washington again and Dallas. I think they should be able to take care of business here. But with that being said, we're gonna see what's gonna happen when they roll into the playoffs. That's what it's gonna be. We're gonna see what Hurts does.
Here's the best news: the Rams took care of business today, even though Stafford was trying to throw the ball away with 3 interceptions. The Eagles have now moved into playoff position over the Vikings. There are other 2 tiebreakers looking at the Saints, even if the Saints win tomorrow.
Right. They have that tiebreaker.
They have the head-to-head. And now even the Cardinals losing, they're starting to fall back into a position that you never know. So, all in all, great win. You win by what it ended up being by 24.
24.
And then you got the right results that you needed in other games. And the Eagles are sitting pretty in the next 2 weeks with Washington and the Cowboys up. And the Cowboys could clinch tonight with a win over the Redskins. You're right. The Washington football team.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point, whatever.
It was a great day. And that's all I can take. I'm very excited. I'm pumped.
And before that, you guys took our advice betting-wise. We did pretty well for you. Did pretty well. Only, I think the Cardinals were the only ones that really let us down. But I had Tennessee. I had Rams. I think I changed that pick over to Detroit. But if you took the Lions or the Rams, as to what I said on Wednesday's show, I'm 3-1 or 2-1, however you want to look at it on the plus side. And I think you had a pretty good day too, because
I lost Jacksonville late, but that's okay. It happens. They had the call 4th and 1, and they went at the 1 yard line. But the Eagles, we all picked. I had them with a big margin. Almost hit the score on the nose. I think I had 30-10. But also on the other side, the Bills. I was big on the Bills, and they came up big against New England.
Yeah,
so
that was a big win for them. So we did good. So
it's a good day. That's what we do. It's a good day, bud. All right, man. That wraps it up for 4th and Go Eagles post game. 8-7. Now the 7th seeded team in the NFC. We're looking good.
Wild.
2 weeks left.
Wild card.
We'll be back Wednesday for a winning Wednesday for sure. Mark, cheers it up.
Cheers.
Until then, we're out. 4th and Go. Heat ratio. Let's do it.